Getting down to business with Cosmo Macero, O'Neill and Associates. Call it a sign of the times. Whole Foods Market coming to Charlestown and taking over Johnny's Foodmaster. I remember Johnny's Foodmaster when I was this high.
I remember just a couple years ago I used to shop there. Actually, they're in talks to take over 6 of them, and you know what? It's a good move for them. This would increase Whole Foods' presence in Massachusetts by 30%. Wegmans has been trying to make a move here. This would be good for Whole Foods to sort of resist that. But I got to tell you, in those communities, a little bit of a culture shock.
Yeah.
Different. Some people call it whole paycheck, right? Different kind of a store, different kind of a vibe. Johnny's family-owned, lower priced, no frills. So a bit of a different look if those sales go through.
Yeah, certainly people take a different look at that when they walk in, wondering what they can afford and maybe what they can't afford as well. All right, let's talk about home sales, because these are the best we've seen in 7 years.
That's right. In 7 years, also the biggest boost since 2010, that the tax credit boost. 20 cities across the nation, home sales are up. And it's pent-up demand. It's not a tax credit boost, but there's a lot of demand right now that's been pent up. There is a good interest rate environment and attractive pricing. All makes for good news for the housing market.
Yeah, kind of the perfect storm right now. All right, we got a legal battle brewing between the estate of the great Julia Child and Thermador.
You remember?
Explain.
That's right. She's the original celebrity chef.
Sure.
You remember that Thermador, Aubrey? And she'd say, you know, I picked up a plump Cornish game hen at Sabinore's, and now I'll make a delightful coq au vin. Well, Thermador's been using her name in a marketing campaign. And you know what? She was very much against endorsements and using her name in that way. She wanted to control her identity in that way. So her estate, the foundation that controls her estate, says, hold on, you can't do this. They're suing Thermador. Thermador's suing back. The owner of Thermador is suing back to, hey, you know what? We can do this as long as we're not promoting it in a way for commercial purposes or to make sales. Well, gee, why else would you do it, right? So there's a big battle brewing there, and lawyers are suing each other.
Boy, I got to hear that Julia Child one more time. That was outstanding. All right, and finally, Bernanke's got the speech, Jackson Hole, Wyoming, tomorrow. And let's face it, the whole financial industry, the whole financial world will be watching to hear what he has to say.
That's right. Everyone's watching. Will the Fed tweak interest rates? Will they buy more bonds? I'll tell you, we'll know what happens right away on Wall Street, because if the market tanks, that means everyone's disappointed. A lot of expectations that the Fed's going to indicate we're going to do more stimulus activity because the economy needs it long term.
You know, it's interesting because we've seen things, you know, they talk about more stimulus, and then they say, well, we're doing a little bit better than we expected. So they hold off.
There's always this concern about tipping off inflation, but really, there's been some good signs to the economy, like the housing market, but manufacturers aren't purchasing new equipment. The unemployment has still been, employment's still been lagging. There's really some issues to be dealt with.
I still have a ways to go. In fact, unemployment in New England states ticked up this past month over. So we'll see what happens there.
Indeed it did, Mark.
Keep an eye on it for you.
Indeed it did.
Yes, it did. Go put the cake in the oven. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.